the idea that Ruxic wasn't playing either, but nonetheless, he might be a little bit more comfortable, very proactive.
Chamber Sentinel, then you're obviously not going to double up. Benji can fill up as he likes. Already going to catch Kolosha. And now it's on comeback to hold his ground. Does phenomenal with 20 HP. Still able to take another down. That's Filu in the dirt. And chloric and Ruxic left to pick up those pieces. Spike's still under their control. But they don't know what ground they've lost. Even as they go to clear their own spawn, they're shift walking, conscious that there could be a Heretics player anywhere. Meanwhile, we can see that the defense has just grouped up together, and this death ball looking to take advantage of the HP and also just the numbers advantage they already have.
The thing is, though, a post plant in a 2 versus 3 is definitely not an unwinnable scenario. It's just the fact that I think the Heretics are starting to realize, okay, it's now been too long. They've taken too much time, so they're starting to make that move across the map. Ruxic in these late round scenarios has always been an absolute demon. His form at the end of last year was fantastic, and him and Hiro are definitely the highlights, but you can see how much time it's taking them just to find a safe space to try and get into that post plant, and now the entire force of this defensive side are already here. They know exactly where Ruxic is, and he's not going to be able to escape. It's chloric, debut in Tier 1, debut in EMEA.
Where are the ideas for this? Salvo's going to try to keep them out of main. NAVI want to force that.
Good one. There's already 3 players here.
30 seconds left.
Benji's got the rifle up close, but plenty of backup, as you said. Come back with the headhunter, hoping to help out. They know Benji's close. He's swinging out as the smoke fades. It's a bold battle to take, but a trade is found. Comeback won't survive behind the breakable wall, but hold on, 12 seconds left, and a plant needed. Still a brawl on site. They stop the plant one more time, but as Boo falls, this round flips into the favor of NAVI. A 3 versus 1 now. As that other rifle arrives on site, RieNs has to drop out of heaven, and they are just waiting to peek this thing
available to them. That's exactly what they're going for. Just pushing it straight through, trying to completely disrupt everything that's going on. And off the back of it, Woot and Comeback just obliterate everybody that walks into their path. A perfect.
The second flash goes through, confirms there's still players there, and so they know, okay, it's probably a split, or they're all sitting in main and they're about to get wrecked by Woot. And so they give up this.
Getting aggressive again. Same early flash, same utility, trying to put Woot into position. It is a low.
Well done, good stun.
Already, a 1-for-1 trade in this sort of round is not.
But where do you go from now? I mean, wait for the smokes to go down, see if Filu can grab a pick. Yeah, 7 shots in the headhunter, and the ability to fall back from that aggressive spot. Why not? There it is! Nice shot by Filu. A beautiful connection. Worth its weight in gold in this round. That's man advantage, but still, those weapons are guarded. And they'll have to scrap if they want them. 2 players heading that way in main, but one of them has the spike. They can't lose that leg of their offense.
Yeah, they're waiting. Boo's likely going to have a 1v2, but the main problem for them is the weaponry. They're trying to put the pressure on RieNs, and actually, Headhunter's done even more damage. Down to just 11 HP.
It's a fair fight now.
Try and reposition on the other side of the map. Comeback still yet to move. Wary that maybe they're still pushing this way, and Kolosha's just gone diving in, trying to act as that distraction, and has done Boo with everything to do, and almost gets the job done. Down to a 1v1. Spike needs to be retrieved, needs to be planted, and it will be. It's just whether or not Comeback can get here in time. The cross is it's left a little bit more barren. They've put Filu into position, and he's going to take Woot and just leave. It was an attempted trap play, but it's failed.
Comeback returns that frag, though, finding one. He'll be smoked off surely on the way through. Benji steps ahead of it. The bait of the AWP from further back. They might not expect the man up this close, but they're waiting for that wall to fall. In fact, the spike even going back. They might leave this angle. Benji, it's all going to come down to timing, and he can't get that smoke up in time. Filu lands another.
They're now moving back in to Comeback. Probably the one man you don't want to face. The bait is there from chloric, but there's no shot hit on either side. Eventually, though, it's Filu once again. Still, RieNs at the back of the site. 20 seconds they need to run towards him, and that gives him chances to take those fights. But chloric, again, he's just baiting every chance for his teammate. And when your teammates are players like Hiro... The same from Kolosha. It's like, your job is to just dive at people, and then you'll...
And it will be aggression from Team Heretics. We've seen this. Aggressive stance to take control. Stun hits Woot in trouble. Hunter's Fury hunting him down, and he will fall in the early fight yet again. Nicely done by NAVI. but they do take a few scars for their troubles.
Really nice from Kolosha to get in there, stun him up, and then get back out. They've looked to try and counter a couple of times now. Is Comeback going to go through this?
He is, with the TP.
Nope, Shorty instead runs through, a little bit of chip damage, and they really are starting to get low over on the NAVI side. 4 players now tagged up at least a bit, but the B site is completely open, and we've just had a mid-game analyst desk where I heard Mini say
they'd already shifted off site, so a chance to retake it together. And here we go. Comeback, the first to fall on the... I don't mind other people,
Mini.
Just not Mini.
Yeah, that's also true. It's even worse because it's him. You should see him behind.
If he pushes through, he's dead to rights at the hands of Filu. And here we go, Boo under pressure. Dove on already, makes it behind the wall. And at least keeps himself alive, but the salvos will force him perhaps into a fight. Good util by Benji's giving him a safe haven though.
Yeah, the Cove denying any additional pressure. Now they've tapped the plant, almost trying to just keep players here as they look to start rotating back. Now bear in mind that Wu is in position, but he's currently facing the wrong direction. Turns around at the exact right moment, but then pulls out a classic. He was going to try and jump peek. Instead has been caught because of it. And now waiting for those rotations to move. Hero's in position. Even still, it's come back to an even scenario. The spike moving towards this A site once again, and there's still 2 players here.
Trying to hit the stun and the shock dart on Boo, but he's still standing. Spam's doing damage. It's so close. Hero a bullet or 2 away. That might make it easier for RieNs if he wasn't trying to heal in the open. Now down to 19. No solace for Boo. Well, there's the finisher eventually. A 2 versus 2, but HP low on 1. Smoke's still online though. That's going to put pressure onto the player in main. chloric though has a reveal to play with. They're going to wait for the tap to fire that on through. In fact, as the time ticks down, they can send it any moment. Now here we go. Body block, but not quite close enough. But the advantages keep piling up for that attacking side. A hell of an attacking side so far, and now the more direct approach. Kolosha, well, he pays with his life. A spam by Benji. The man advantage found already. The B-side hold looking good. But he is under pressure. Luckily, backups arrive.
Yeah, he's done enough to delay. That's all they could really hope for on the Heretics side. That allows RieNs to run back in full force. Come back also now on the scene. This was meant to be a quick play and plant. Instead, they are witnessing it. Was a little bit quiet. Benji during kickoff was still very, very good. And it's nice to see that form doesn't seem to have gone anywhere. Aggressive play in. Counter utility. Kolosha using his ult to try and hold them in position, but it doesn't seem to matter. Wu and RieNs getting a couple of openers, and now they just throw down that cove and fade away.
And again, look at the harbor utility, not just the cove, but the wall put up before that. It just allows them to section off this attacking side, make the battlefield theirs on a whim. Reactionary, and Benji's doing a wonderful job when it comes to those reactions. Speaking of which, quick headshot for comeback, and we're down to a 5.
Just a player not being hit by it, or if it was just that they hit the shots anyway. I think because they didn't hear Woot sliding through, they just assumed it's a bit quieter on Filu.
Yeah, I don't know if that was, it seemed like they had a perfect read on the fact that the AWP was playing A main there. Backing off the initial fight, sending chloric to put the drone through as well, pushing him back. And now, hold on, is chloric going to walk through this? It's an ambitious play, and he gets at least one. Opens up the gap for his teammates to run on through. They'll take that backside control. And Hero on to comeback completely. Puts the sight into their pocket. They've heard the run up by Woot. They've heard it, right? Surely they heard it. I can see him with a player with their back turned. Ruxic, I don't know if he was temporarily deafened, the white noise up too high, but he'll get him in the end. With a 3 versus 2 that they're left in.
He's checking for the second player.
Well done.
Ruxic doesn't miss those. Making sure nobody gets him from behind. Boo's missed the jump and tries to go through anyway, but now they know where he is.
But it's a Tiger in response. I think Heretics are gearing up to push them straight down, and indeed they will. You can see Woot running it down, and Filu's caught in the open. Up goes the wall, isolating any form of response, but a gap, and Hero's double, triple, in fact, has completely turned the tables back into the favor of NAVI. They're in a 3v2, damage done to Boo as well. That is a huge response from Hero.
Yeah, this is the duo we've seen over the last couple of rounds. Ruxic and Hero, they are 2 players I think any team in the league would be happy to pick up, but NAVI are the one who've got their signature. They were fantastic at the end. What can come back do though? A lot of damage taken, but it's for a kill. And with that pocket operator available to
30
him,
seconds left.
it's still very much a winnable round, especially with the position of Boo. He's so low on HP, but just about dodged. Not quite though. It's down to Ruxic. Again, it's that same scenario. Through the smoke he goes, that allows him to plant, but already comeback is close and he's got the judge in hand. He's gonna hear him retreating. Gonna try and get there before he even realizes, but he's got the wrong idea. He's got the wrong idea, looks to check, and eventually will get there with the judge in hand as well. So I assume there's gonna be an additional gun available for Wu if this does turn into a retake, which I'd say it looks like it might, but it's only Kolosha that's actually got in. I believe that's also both drones used to get them through, but there's comeback. Filu invested into a glass cannon operator and has taken a hit for it. They're using everything, in fact, just to get that plant down. It's not put them in a fantastic position.
Oh, still have an uphill battle. The other side of that cosmic divide as well. Now as they start to close in the distance, the danger though is up close. chloric is gonna knife through the wall. That's Wu down. His second of the round, and he even escapes. Time ticking here as the defuse needs to be sought, but chloric's the last man standing. 33 HP as he picks up the rifle. The reveal online, but they're already getting it to half. The smoke being set, the spam here. Spray and pray, but up close is Boo.
This game convincingly, and thus far it's been pretty close.
Oh, wasting no time. Our team Heretics already sending Woot into the mix, and he'll find one before falling. This Heretics now, what do they do with this space? You can see the Boos sitting on B long, but they know there's still a decent bit of presence on the other side of that wall. Chance to take it through water, look for that spawn space. I think we're still shifting towards that B site. NAVI have adapted though. They've given up the space in street, realizing they need to take ground elsewhere. And I think it'll be a little easier down B long, but it's going to take them a while to get through that, the smoke even slowing them. And all the while, Heretics are sliding their way towards this A site. Filu, well, he actually isn't going to be point of contact. Instead, it's Ruxic walking down, and now Filu could maybe catch them while looking the wrong way.
Oh, he's almost got two.
That was damn close. 3 HP in the difference.
Last player
Under pressure.
Nice job.
Leaves it all onto Boo. First one should come easy. The next three, not so much, and he doesn't have control of the spike. Also in one of the worst positions you could ever hope to try and collect it. A few angles to make it through, but they are all the tightest choke point you'll ever look to face.
Oh, he's lucky he has that smoke to hide in. But they are still waiting on the headshot.
Right, Ruxic with a judge. He would need to be so close for this to really have any value, and now they've completely sectioned off Kolosha even at the back of the site. Like, yeah, that might be the most optimistic thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not sure about that one.
Plant. Try and keep him safe. The spams from Hero will break the cove, but not do any damage. And now a 5v4 post plant with still a decent amount of utility and all of the space, but they have lost Wu.
Thing is, the cove allowed for such an open plant here. They can play off-site, they can play in art, but in fact, there's still some players holding on to hope that they can hold church. Benji goes down in the one-for-one trade, but RieNs and come back quickly. Turn the odds massively into their favor. Hero, though, brings it to a 1v1. The grab well will buy time and run that clock so low, it looks like a formality for Boo, and it will
win this round, have the chance to get themselves right back into the game, but the pace might just catch them. No, they have dealt with Wu.
And they get out, though. Yes, okay.
Not bad that they have from Filu. They're willing to take the gamble. Okay, they can't play a proper B post plant with him still in. Haven't heard anything else towards the B site, but that is going to be that reckoning used. Clearing out the backline, making things a little bit more awkward for players like Kolosha, who's already under pressure, and Ruxic's gone as well. Bear in mind, Hero was desperately low, but he has been able to get one with the salvos. 17 seconds, and they need to get that plant in. But just waiting to see if anybody on NAVI tries to react to this. It will be Hero, so low on HP. That's the advantage back in Heretics' favor.
So patient from Heretics. Tempered aggression, and RieNs, after holding close on the spawn, walks through to catch them off. Sure, he'll fall, but they've got the time on their side. All they have to do, ring a rosie. Run this clock all the way down, but Comeback stands his ground and pays the price. Now the defuse out of position. Boo almost forced to sprint it down, and they're just sticking it under his nose. The play for the game. If Heretics win this, they can roll through the rest, but instead, they're put to bed. Whoa, they were! For a moment, at least an advantage for NAVI, but Benji has stolen that back.
I feel like Filu gets a little bit greedy. Like, you left Kolosha for dead. He was already dead, so to then still go for the peak, wanted to extend that advantage even further, instead has reduced it to nothing. Again, those counter salvos, they've been really irritating. But with 10 seconds left, that plant is going to be going down. Ruxic can't do anything about it with the Cosmic Divide in the way, and they will have to try and play the retake once more, which with Boo alive, that's been a problem.
Yeah, they're going to fight through this. Ult sent through by Banshee, and it's over towards the pit, where Ruxic flies under the radar. Again, onto the IGL. 14-7 is Boo. He's got to feel very, in ranked 1 in a million. He's got to feel very unlucky. That went down! That's not a good TP! Oh my god! And he gets away with it! What?
Did he think he was still playing Yoru? He was going to go all the way back to elbow or something. I guess it doesn't matter. This complete brawl. Obviously, because of the round, I'm sure they're aware of, but it could allow for them to get in on the plant. It does, however, look like, especially with the Cosmic Divide, maybe they're a little bit happier just to try and play that retake.
Double salvos, front side going to be sent through. They want the fight on the back, and they have forced Heretics into this space. The trap sprung. It's going to be the stun kill for Hiro as well. Nice work to bring us into a 3v3, but the plan's still found. Hiro spots one up close, goes for the wallbang, and damage done to both of those players. Desperately close to giving them the advantage. Oh, that actually gets a tag as well onto the ankle of Benji. So a little bit more information to play with. They've got to wait for these smokes to fade to really get back in. And now they've got to walk past the tour de force. Comeback patiently waited. He's fired 1 shot so far, but the second will be deadly. Hiro on the floor, and chloric forced into an uncomfortable fight. Filu, as much as he'd love to sit there and wait to punish Comeback's walkout, he's the one that has to rebuy that off if he falls. Running for the save already.
I think they were a little bit unfortunate. I like the reaction, liking what NAVI are doing. They're using the fact that Heretics have been that little bit slower to give them space. This is a big risk, though, if they are to go for it. Well, that's the info they wanted. Can he escape? No.
And now a follow-up. Woot, 2 players still on site, though. Strength in the scars of that A main fight for NAVI. 3 close by. They will take Woot, but where are the rest of the squad? Where is Heretics? That's the question NAVI have to answer. And they're about to find out the hard way, but it's Filu on the B side. He's up in heaven, and he's got that angle. I mean, the problem is the smoke blooming, and his efficiency is going to be nerfed pretty heavily, but if he finds one, he can fade back and play the retake together. Drone going out on A, still 3 players there. This man is all alone, but not afraid to take the risk, and that's why a shot fired and he's out before the echo fades, and now there's no risk needed. Advantage for NAVI. All they have to do is retake.
Oh, they've smoked the trap. That will mean that Comeback can get past without anybody knowing that he's there. Although, with how much space they've taken, I don't think this position will be a surprise. He's just a little bit more wary of maybe someone coming in from behind. There's the quick dash in, but already 2 quick kills coming up. RieNs and Comeback combining. The end of this map looking ever more likely, and a lot of it will be on chloric, because Filu's still playing with that operator, and he's gone down as
it's fair to say. The loss here to a NAVI that's, well, coming in with missing pieces. Already an opening duel for NAVI, but there's an immediate response. Ruxic hiding in the corner, trades it back. They'll keep that space, keep that spike as well. Losing Ruxic there would have been disastrous, but he does well to avoid that initial brawl. Capitalize after, and now they'll move into this A site that is mostly open, in fact, fully open for the taking. The problem is they're not going door. They're looking to push through what is now a cove, and the spams actually work out in favor of NAVI. They've got an advantage now, and back to the safety of the door, hopefully, with the spike. It looks like they're thinking about even taking it elsewhere. It's their choice, dealer's choice. The Heretics in spawn, and in fact, if this goes to B, they'll be in an even better position to run that clock down before there's any re-aggression from the defense.
I like what NAVI are doing. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket. It's something that chloric sort of joked about. He's like, oh, I'm like boaster, but he is. He's playing it slow. Like they're not in a rush to like run into one side of the map. They haven't cleared everything over towards A. There's a lot of angles that could be a problem. So they reposition. They take a new angle. It's a little bit risky, but it has worked out. The IGL battle goes in the direction of
back at the previous map. Like coming into today, oh, that's nasty. He saw the hairline up top. But coming
wouldn't have happened with me.
You would have been safe.
I would have been fine.
Safe as can be. Cypher without a hat over here. But yeah, when it comes to NAVI last map, they did such a good, you'd assume, could come off the back of it. Heretics have left B open a couple of rounds. This time it will be very different indeed. Nice stun going through that should have nullified that paranoia, but
they have got the read right on the Heretics side, but it's actually been more of a commitment to B. The spam has just dropped the spike. Luckily, it's dropped into the hands of someone who can retrieve it towards that B site, and the spamming of the door will continue just to almost bait that maybe they're going this way, but the fact is, they are.
To go back to clear B, Boo. Reliable as he's been, under pressure, paranoia lands, buys some time, teammates covering the wraparound as well, holding the line is the IGL Boo. He'll finally fall as well. Could have
maybe, yeah, that too.
For a brief second. Oh, and in he goes! And out of the round, up close though, comeback, not hit by the paranoia.
It is a completely open B side. In fact, after the flash catches someone, they have stacked up the A side of the map, and it will have to just be a retake on this side instead.
Yeah, Filu was sticking around to get value, and although it didn't come in the form of a pick, it did in the form of misinformation. Again, the B site plant for NAVI. That's 3 rounds that it's felt very open. One, they ended on C, but ended up with full control, and I think they're seeing that gap as they play the extremities of the map. Filu turns the flash. Great stun, slows them up in heaven. And waiting his turn is Filu. The shot doesn't land this time, but Hiro from down below. The Viper in the pit, but he falls, and so too does Kolosha. Both players here so low, but the time even lower. Nice shot from Filu early on. The advantage found, and all that space that was just taken by Heretics running it down on A main, stolen out of their hands. NAVI do step back from the spams, but towards B, Hiro was holding the line. Almost a further advantage claimed. In fact, another opportunity missed with comeback barely surviving. This could very well be a 5v2 just off those last 2 engagements, but NAVI still have a lot to play against, and this guy can't get hit with utility. Dodged everything! Boom! With 3 on the board! The round surely theirs, and they sent everything at him, but nothing stuck.
And they got spotted by Boo, so now they're going to go for the plan that they originally faked out. The problem is that the comeback's still waiting. So quick to find Kolosha, who's had no real impact so far in this half. He's been shut down every single time, and again, that clock is running low with the defenders already somewhat in position, but with a man advantage, it seems like instead they'll try and wait to play this as a 5. This fight could be everything, and it's an important one for chloric to bring things back even.
Yeah, great timing as he gets into that smoke just as RieNs rounds the corner. And when he comes back to clear it a second time, oh, not so lucky. Smoke up for the one-way, and they know at this point that NAVI want to fight. chloric showing some teeth here. Already got himself a double, a third on offer, but Wood shuts him down. Still, the numbers in their favor, and now the numbers.
Had a few of those this week.
Dude, maybe he's a Biggie fan. Hopefully not that Biggie. 5-3 as Heretics, well, they get their aggression on the server. 4 players pushing up in A main, finding the opening through the smoke, but guess where the gap is? NAVI guessed it was B, and they were right. But this time, moving it towards the C side. This is where the problems have been before with Boo holding it down, but the fort falls early. And Ruxic left behind this time. It seems like big value on the horizon. They'll try to slow that retake to buy that. Well, I was going to say to buy Ruxic time, but he's actually gotten into position to drop a paranoia on them. Give his teammates a big advantage when push comes to shove on the side. I like this idea from him, and it's going to be sent out now. That's buying so much time. They can't push. And Hiro, I mean, if he was greedy, he'd get a kill there. But the patience I like to see.
It's hard the steps, them trying to wrap back around. In through they go. Hiro wins that first, looking for a little bit more, but the trades aren't bad. Still, it comes down to just comeback, and that time has been ticking for quite a while. If anything, his own teammate's utility is now hindering him a little bit of taking these fights. It will have to be the fadeaway. Just holding on to the weaponry for the next round. Another good reaction.
Filu had the angle, but forced to give it up thanks to that deep smoke up.
Bait TP.
As the wall goes up, 3 are already through. Comeback under a lot of pressure. When that falls, but no. He's not being watched or held. Filu just diverted his gaze, and that will be enough for the opening pick in the hands of Heretics. That's the problem. Yeah, not knowing that this A side is clear. I was worried that he'd be pincered by that door open, but they're a little slow getting there. A reset from comeback onto the backside, but oh no! He's able to fade away from that stun, catch the headhunter shot, and give them a huge advantage to play with now. Heretics, what seems to be a formality, they can just wait for Boo as well. The clock in their favor.
A much bigger advantage than prior, and a lot of gaps. Hiro looking like he's about to be rounded on, and in fact, it's come back with everything. The quick switch working, only one left to be found, but chloric is that one. He's going against everybody. A chance for a clutch of the ages. A 1 versus 5. Benji's gonna swing him, and chloric on his debut.
Round of the week. And then this guy, the IGL. I mean, look at these shots. This double, so nasty, and chloric says, hold my beer, brother. Anything you can do, I can do better. 1 mag and 1 whole team leading by example. NAVI staying alive here.
Sentinel's already sending a contract over.
Gee, that was ridiculous.
Oh God, Navi, I hope you haven't put too low a buyout on him. They're going to be coming. They're going to be sniffing around. That is on his debut as well. I think there's been so many things about Navi that we've talked about.
Scout destroyed.
That's kind of been undersold a little bit. But coming up from NRG Academy and getting an ace versus Heretics, 1v5 ace as well. That might just beaten anybody's debut play that we've ever seen.
Nice shot by comeback. It's going to be hard to steal the show after what we just witnessed. Oh my God, an unassuming hero indeed. But 2 picks now for Heretics. So they find their way back to the chartered course. And it's comeback that is steering the ship. Hands firmly on the wheel. This one, he doesn't look to let slip, but Kolosha forces the issue. chloric still alive. It's the same side as well. You better be careful. But Kolosha, I mean, I'm not sure how Woots ended up with that one. He was stunned up, but the first bullet, all he needed. chloric to do it again. Should be impossible. The ult sent through, it finds one. He doesn't have that info on the second player. We can come at this together. The trade's all they need, and you bet your ass they're going to give Big Papa some respect.
Chance to do it again. The last one seemed impossible. This one seems all the more likely. But he doesn't know where Boo is. It's the clutch versus the clutch. The IGL versus the IGL.
Hey, don't get too far ahead of yourself here.
They win champs. They send over a guy from NRG Academy.
Hold on. This is what happens when you have someone from NA trained in the EMEA Stage. In every duel in the last 2 rounds. I was joking saying he's still alive, but it's the last time I'll make that statement in jest. NAVI running it down towards the A site. They're guaranteed neck and neck at the half. And it was a streak of 5 rounds by Heretics, but an immediate response by NAVI that gives them the chance for the lead at halftime.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that there's been a response from a player on Navi.
One guy.
The rest of them have kind of just been watching, enjoying the show as we have. And well, 4v4 retake almost seems unfair for Heretics. Might have to call the admins on this one, see if we can get rid of a couple of those Navi players. Ruxic about to come under pressure with a nasty position and an easy double. Let's not forget what Ruxic can do. 3 kills in a blink of an eye, and now comeback. He's had a great different kettle of fish. Woo. looking to try and make sure this isn't the beginning of something. And wow, with 2 already found for his side, Hero though, quick on the reaction. Leaving it into a 3v3 scenario, that advantage dissipated, but they will have a post plant on C.
Well, I'm gonna say, chloric is still alive. He's been giving ends to his friends, and it feels stupendous. See if he can get a bit more. Prowler's already pushing a player back as Hero takes that space, and the hope is Filu finds one from the side, but Heretics very patient on that site. And make them burn some util at the start. chloric's the man leading the charge. He's running in, he's taking down comeback. The wall bang, good for 1. And round he goes, still jumping into the angle. Still putting his life on the line. As now Boo has to round that corner quickly. The defuse.
I just meant the clutches.
Yeah, been a while.
Oh, early trade. A catastrophe from the other.
Well, I think that's the problem. It's like at that point you're swinging in because you're thinking, oh, we're just better. Let's play like we're better. And I think now it's clear that there's no shortage of individuals on NAVI, new or old. Trades, at least to start things out. The B side will fall into Heretics' hands, but Kolosha's got that side angle. This can get very dangerous. And a landed shot puts them ahead. NAVI looking to run away with this map, and it's only RieNs who can rein them back in. Heretics, they desperately need this. This is their pick, and it's looking worse than Pearl for NAVI. And look at the bait. 10 seconds. What are you going to do, RieNs? 7 seconds. We got to stick it eventually, and he's... Oh! He's got time! That's going to be down to the pixel, but he's got it. That is ridiculous. Okay, well handled by RieNs, and now it's Hero who has to pull them back into the lead.
Just a little too early on the swing. And a 1v1 between 2 Turkish players right at the top of their level. RieNs, he feels like he needs to push through.
But landing that shot just in time. A massive round, but indeed, Kolosha, he's been having a tough showing. And to go wide there.
It was like he was half a second early.
I think that's the pressure on this stage. It felt like it was his moment to shine after being a dim light for so long, and well, snuffed out in that final play. Now 9-6, a chance for Heretics to fight their way back into things. NAVI completely locked out of C.
Oh. That was their bonus round. Reckoning used. Slowing the push and
thanks to that little bit of extra, will feign that control, but look for a big play on C. The Viper's pit there to meet them, and Kolosha landing the opening. Now they've got themselves that A main control nice and easy.
Yeah, maybe the judge was the problem. It wasn't, but for some reason that seems to work better with the Sheriff. Not a bad start to the round. Rifle picked up, quick play towards the B site for the side of Heretics, and chloric hoping for something through the smoke, but takes damage in response, ducking and weaving past every spam shot. Heretics are fine for now. Of course, the Viper's pit kind of locks them out of going back towards the C site, but it seems like Hero's going to give that up, or maybe hesitate just a bit. No, he has given up the pit, but they're seemingly going to eventually stick this, but eventually maybe going to back out.
Why, the back and forth, it's like a yo-yo on the attack side. They're in, they're out. All they're short of is shaking it all about, but in fact, they've taken down 3. They were waiting for NAVI to get overzealous, waiting for them to step into this arena, and Heretics dominate every fight there. They know that Hero's in that side and don't want to pressure him, at least from what we can see with that judge up close. He wants a rifle, but he's gonna, oh, hold on. Woot's getting real close, and a little too close for comfort. A shutdown of him, and now Comeback's all alone. Mistakes made on the attacking side. A round set up for success. And now they are in a lot of trouble, but the time is ticking on that spike. They need to be quick. The tap already comes through, and Outlaw on the other side spotted, but they're not on it. He just has to stop them one more time. NAVI, and the door's open on both sides of the map. The defense has no idea where the hit's coming in. Saul Guerrera style.
Worry is that time, but with the B site completely clear, the bait has worked. Comeback holding, but again, those toxins are going to cause him issues. Kolosha already getting past, swinging through, but the trade's back from Comeback and Sublime. Lightning fast, but not quick enough for Hero. The 3v3. Woot maybe on a slight off angle. I don't know if they'll expect the second player to be this close. A snake bite in, but it's not going to reach him. I don't know if he's been seen. No, they have no idea. Not a clue. And for Ruxic, this should be impossible. He needs both win in a second, and it isn't going to happen. Filu nowhere near the action, will finally make the scene, but as I said, their economy's in the bin. Is this worth the fight?
Well, the call's been made, but a wide net spread by Heretics, hoping that Filu steps into it. Well, that flash will give it away, but they've heard him drop down. He's trapped now. Filu has no way out on his own, while 4 players stand in A main, exactly where the play is coming down, but the wall isolates them. Woot able to find the first. Ruxic, TP's pass now, hot on his heels, wrapping around this position. Oh, he's going back! He's re-clearing it! Beautiful work by Woot. The Spidey sense is tingling, but that reveals distracted them long enough for Hero to strike. Chaotic rounds almost every time they try.
In terms of numbers, has had more.
Oh,
smoking to make things a little bit more awkward. That's the only goal. He wants to try and make it.
Patiently waiting for some overextension towards B main. He'll step into the angle now as the door is being swung open. And that's one for him, but Filu answers back. Stuck in the corner now, 20 HP. They won't challenge any further. Not re-peeking that up, it's a wise move. The spike redirecting to the C site while Boo holds down that A push, but he's seeing nothing.
Kolosha is somewhat isolated here. It's actually
Filu's in.
Filu's, yeah, you're going through with the operator. Doesn't find anything. The duelist has been having a really tough series so far. The Ukrainian yet to find his legs, but well, there's at least one. A second as well. Maybe this is the moment for the young star to step up to the plate. The tap of the spike will bait him in, and that's him gone. With Filu low, this definitely isn't a done deal. The TP up gives a surprising position, but the bullets are gone somehow. Missed shot far more likely if he's the second one.
10 seconds left.
Has to just commit this right now, but of course the right rounds, and then when everything's going their way, they give that gap, that opportunity. And the Navi of old maybe wouldn't have capitalized in the same way, but this one certainly does. B-side flash through as they look to battle. Heretics are falling to pieces. Every fight lost. The paranoia comes in from a teammate. Yeah. That's about the best piece of utility Heretics have had go in their favor.
The ghost of Boo whispering in his ear.
The wraparound from Benji is not bad. It's now being watched if he was to go to stairs, but a plant here could open up a backstab for comeback. This round is going to be incredibly difficult.
He's selling bait.
He's going to wrap on them.
Trying to give the idea that they're going in the other direction. Ruxic's going to have to do everything. Here he is. He's still watching, still honed in. There was a gap, but unfortunately, Benji wasn't able to find it, and that leaves comeback. Well, we've seen 1v5. He was the guy that put them down to 1. He needs it out. You've lost the map with a 1v5 in there. Like, this is something that is definitely going to have to be fixed for Heretics, but can they do it here and now?
Yeah, things may look strange. We'll get the HUD back online, but of course Navi on the defensive side. And they're the ones giving up this space, allowing for the plant to come through while the wraparound from Heretics. And remember, they've gotten sites, they've gotten advantages, but then they throw them away. This time the push comes together. As we get 3 players pushing into Lambs, but the stun is perfect. The shot's not so much. benjyfishy returns a double, keeps them ahead, and the trades working wonders for the side of Heretics. Now, time ticking, and chloric with another clutch needed. No idea where either opponent has made their way to, and they just need to bide their time.
It's to group up with him, but yet to really commit to that. Smokes will now go down. There are still 3 players here from the Navi side. As you said, this is the round with the rifles. This is the round you're expected to win, but thus far, not done too much damage.
Spike planted.
Oh, no.
That's nasty. Not the round where you want to have blips like that. Heretics now with an advantage, even with the weaker weapons. Remember, Woot has been sat here. The highest mobility agent in the game hasn't moved for the last minute, just patiently waiting for a peek, or knowing that map control will be denied And that's almost good enough. Sure, comeback goes down, but how do you get this diffuse across the line?
dear.
And when the smoke bloomed, that judge can step on in. Confirm there's no diffuse, and the shots are missed! Oh! Kolosha gonna put his name in the hat. Up close, spamming away. There's one already, but now in trouble, out of ammo. Goes to the classic, but Hiro trades it out. And that trade, terrible for Team Heretics. Not only a man behind, but the spike is down. They've smoked deep, mollied in front. That space is theirs. And now this narrow battleground, it's almost cost comeback his life as well.
Oh.
Good return by Boo. Numbers even, but
Filu with a decision to make. A teammate rotating in. Chloric is the one that may look to take this fight. Still a sniper on the other side. He's got to be careful peeking into, and they are playing more passively. That gives Filu a chance for the trade. Fantastic from benjyfishy. Keeps things even. Gives an opportunity for the post.
Spike planted.
Orb goes up. Chloric can't quite get the angle. Benji slips away to the side, looking for the 1v1, but losing it. And now, the leader on the other side, yet again, has to win out the clutch. We're going to have NAVI neck and neck. Man advantage to play with, but no smokes to block him off. They don't know where he is, and already the Gravwell's buying him more time, but Chloric's been clinical on these angles, and with the wide swing, hold on! Who isolates one? It's a safe bet. With that, they know the rest of the aggression will come down towards mid, a fight they look to take to their opponents before push comes to shove. A nice opening. Chloric the one to connect. RieNs down and out, but Benji now wants to create some space, and he strikes at just the right moment, but Chloric not pulling any punches, and he'll be traded out to leave. Guess who? It's Boo alone. 1 versus 3. 20 seconds to work with. He can't plant there. He knows it. Trying to force a fight, a favorable one perhaps, but there's not really anything on offer. That smoke. Stange told them someone's there, but the shot from comeback, anticipating aggression. Yeah, like, honestly.
No clutch this time.
Someone checked this guy's PC. He's found another, and that was through the smoke with a crazy spam. They do close the distance. And with Woot hot on their heels, there's danger around the corner, and it's coming full speed ahead for Woot. And up in his hands now with the tour de force as well. It's a difficult round brewing for NAVI. They have to fight their way back into the site. An ult from Kolosha, but he's 15 HP now. That ult is almost null and void. A stray shot can take him down.
Yeah, committed.
Toxins going up.
Orbital strike. Boost now found another, his third of the round. That operator into his hands almost seems like a death sentence. They're going to need Hiro to pull off a monstrous play, but they need him to do it very quick. Already spotting one. Second player, he might just see the scope, but he needs to get everything in a second. There's one, there's two, the third will be seen. Hiro's with a chance, but he needs to get this defusal, and the time is far too far gone. He might get every single kill, but probably the best kill I've seen from him all.
They're not dogging.
Ooh, that was almost two. Almost lining up for him.
Yeah, he just wants to dog from too close. Like, yeah, you get that extra ground, but you pay for it. Ruxic.
Oh, no.
It's not quite the Chloric spray down. He doesn't land, and now the site under threat. The tour de force all by its lonesome with the neon sliding around. It's a terrifying time.
Spike planted.
Be in his shoes. And Filu, okay, well, he actually avoids the dog. The dog's his teammates, never mind. He's clearing out a lot of space for them. At least he knows his back is secure, can stare forward, but at what? They've already pulled the advantage into 2, and yes, Filu responds with a no, they're okay! I'm starting to believe now.
Blank.
The timing could be key. If he can distract them, Chloric could find an easy kill onto Boo, but Boo is locked in on that position. But Chloric wins it anyways! Again, a near impossible round, but they've done it!
But they've opted to give it up and head back towards this A side. That Tiger's going to have to do its job, because there is a judge waiting on it. They're not going to send it. They're not going to send it through. They're just trying to go in blind. And, well, that's risky. That's very, very risky in the current meta. Another snake bite for Hiro. That one wasn't intentional.
One enemy remaining.
Well, Kolosha a little labored, but he's got the job done. Some heals from his IGL, and only Woot standing. He will
They didn't hear Kolosha jump spotting that round, so something else was afoot, as it is now. Woot already running down through a bathroom, looking for that control. Smokes are blocking off the big player of Filu with the big old gun. He steps in now. Opportunities denied, at least for the time being. And a deep control on the site. No one's looking at him finally.
Oh, no.
It will be come back to drop two. There was a little bit of an oversight, but failure to capitalize on the other side.
This is an eco. This is an incredibly low buy round that's come through from Heretics. And again, they've been so good at getting the openers. It's just the closers that they've had trouble with. Comeback goes walkabouts. Another advantage slips away. Another gun hits the deck. And NAVI players, it's safe to say, even though they might be new teammates, stand-ins, whatever you name it, when it comes to synergy, there's been far more of it from their side. In the 2v2 clutch, luckily, Boo is still standing. That star is going to cause them some issues. They're going to try and get the block in, and no, it's not worked. Not quite. Not going to be able to get it to half. That has bought enough time, and now Woot could go diving in. He's been taken out as well, but that clock, it might be ticking too far. It's going to be incredibly close if they get this over. Because if they are, Filu would be dead. Now it makes a little bit more sense. And well, the spam through, gonna do a bit of damage. Not anything too crazy so far. Seekers just looking to be destroyed as Woot looks to claim ground, but whoa, clearly a second weapon was ready and waiting for Ruxic. He's thrown it down, come back trying to close out onto Hiro, who wants to try and surround them.
Oh no, the shot doesn't land. The second does though, the slow, making it a bit easier. The headhunter finds only the body. Then Kolosha rejoin the pack and look to take this side. Heretics have been in a three-man death ball, moving back and forth. Finally, they get the fight. Shots returned, but landed into Wu. Good slide in. Trades coming the way of NAVI. And it's all thanks to Ruxic. A triple kill that gets them the plant and the man advantage. Somewhere that was never a safe round when Team Heretics had these advantages to play with. Let's see if NAVI can make better use.
Hiro check the flank. They know that there's nobody coming from this direction. Filu not even taking a risk. Wants to just get out of there. They know where he is, but they have no idea where his teammates are. And well, he almost took one of them with him instead. Fu has been able to clear out Hiro. That's the one unknown man. Now just going to try and sit within the smoke. Half is what they're looking for, and half is what they found. Trying to bait them in for a little bit more, but it is
16 to 8 with that pistol under his belt. And trading all the way through to that spike plant. And with some brilliance in his own to close out, those two were nasty, man. It's the fact that he's mid-span.
Hiro just going to be tucking in, of course. He's only got a pistol. He's the one player that doesn't really have a weapon to gamble. A double up of players will make it difficult to get past, but they may now start gambling that rotation back. It's not a bad start for Heretics. But can they get anything more here? The rest will be damage, and okay. Filu's just been destroyed, and in fact, it's come down to just one. It's this man again in a clutch, but
he might get it. Okay, it looks like he will. But Boo wrapping up behind him should finish this one. I want more of a competitive game. And it looks like Comeback does too. Nice shot landed. He's staying up top for the spam. Why not? But now they're going to break through. Flash doesn't catch him. He holds that right side. They know the push is coming towards the site, so Benji is more than ready for that fight. Comeback steps in to help out, and oh, getting out's a problem. Ruxic on the pistols found more, and not like this. Returning the favor of the previous round, it's RieNs alone, a rifle in hand, but his opponents have just the same. This felt like Heretics' opportunity. A door left wide open. All they had to do was walk through, and they would be neck and neck. But now, RieNs has to make the clutch happen. Molly sent over, nice and early. A little too early, perhaps, but it's going to work out in his favor. RieNs sees that Ruxic is nice and far back. Orbital strike will be used here, and by then the clock should pretty much be gone. It's going to let him get it to half, but the time so low. That half could save it. It's going to put Why is he swinging here? No shortage of mistakes in this series. Certainly a lot to be improved. That's the
spike down
through the wall.
Kolosha's just being domed through the wall. Well, good night and sweet dreams. And with the spike down, they have fallen so far from grace.
Seems like they're firing. Comeback forced off the angle. Kolosha. I don't think that wall's going to help them out too much, but Woot's gone TPing.
He is going back towards the elbow, backing out of that corner where it would have been, you know, one and done in the best of times. And if chloric sends through that dog, I think he would have just been done. Instead, he's got an angle to play from, and out they go. Never mind. Finished before it started.
That right there is the most annoying thing about playing a Neon. Because if you kill him, you're at least like, traded 1-for-1. But if you miss while he's doing all this ridiculous stuff, and then you get killed by someone else, like, well, I either had to ignore a player, which is stupid, or I had to try and hit someone that's moving at the speed of sound, which also is stupid.
They're going for this. Sure,
Economy's not bad.
Last player standing.
Okay, well.
They are getting domed. You could put this guy on anything, especially that controller on.
Yeah,
and he looks so...
But now they're playing up close and personal, looking to lure these players in. But Benji, he didn't know how close they'd gotten. Now the pressure on for Wu to deliver, and he does. The surprise factor ends up getting them some. And now they trade places, waiting patiently for the rotate through. But look how deep Hero's gone. He's fighting into their spawn, but now... Oh, man. The Viper Orb in your spawn. Where do you go? Where does the rotate come to now? NAVI or the defense?
They fully set up for a post-plant for
That's
heaven.
nasty, I love it.
Repositioning in the mid-round, something we gave them a lot of credit for when it came to Lotus and chloric. This angle might not be expected because of where it is. Oh, chance for two, but it is just the one. Another hero still needed with Wu, the one that's thriving, his third kill of the round already. Gonna be looking for a little bit more, looking for his opponent and finding once again. They're definitely checking that right side this time. Wu has moved. Benji under pressure. Being spammed. The heal's even coming through mid-fight just to try and keep Kolosha standing. This is a risk from Filu. He's gonna need lightning fast reactions, but instead he's now posted waiting on the angle. Opts to step away, and that might be the right course, especially now that the plant's in. He doesn't need to play this aggressively. Okay! It's been quiet from Kolosha so far, but that was a wonderful shot. Clearing out the judge and giving them control.
Yeah, the op posted there as well. Flash is going to send him back, but another player in the corner. Position given away. That could be a big mistake from chloric, but never mind. The classic comes out to clean up, and Boo left. The economy is still decent on Heretics as well.
But we'll see if it works.
Well, Filu
we're down to one.
Takes the opening kill, so it's a good job they've got a second. Up, Kolosha up close, gets dropped by Benji, but the trades are good. Job done by Kolosha. And now Wu, well, he's in a lot of trouble. Has to use his op, show that second operator, show that flare. The Molly at least pulled out early on, but with a Viper's Pit to play back on, that's where the real problems start to brew. Wrap around from Boo, judge in hand. It's probably the best weapon for this position, but now they know about it. And they still jump in to try to fight it. Wu even giving that covering fire that drops
Hero.
The pit. Hero stepped out of it to try to trade his teammate, and in the end, it's gone badly wrong. The slide caught by Filu. Unbelievable shot. And Boo is now. Boo will sit patiently waiting for his opportunity, but Filu lands the shot anyways. In goes Kolosha, and he's got two! Kolosha's on the server, baby! Turns up in the final hour.
Planted.
He wasn't interested. So many points throughout their history of this roster. Starting off stage, Benji, the one to be challenged first. Up close, Phantom in hand. Wall blocks his teammate off. He finds one still, but he can't get out of here. Orbital strike gonna be sent in, and Filu lands the shot. They're willing to throw everything at this round because only one more is needed. But we start with even trades.
I've got your trail.
Is available. It's been popped intentionally over on towards that B site. Trying to give the game away, and it does! The swing in from RieNs. He was looking for info. Instead, well, I guess he found it. There's an operator still watching, still waiting. It puts the pressure on to come back. He's had some incredible moments, some ruined by the IGL on the other side. And now into that post plant.
Let's play.
Time ticking here, pressure on for Heretics. They close in the distance, but Filu hits it a second time. Wu can't get away!